Night with you in our old rendezvous. Cherry, I love you so. That's...
How can I explain it? Think of Vicky if Bette Midler, Joan Jett, and John Waters made a love child, sprinkled a whole hell of a lot of Ronnie Spector, and that was Vicky. You know, long before Pretty in Pink, our high school years were kind of like Pretty in Pink meets Romeo and Michelle. Any juvenile delinquent film, we were all up in that shit.
Don't pull a flip out, mama. Yeah, sometimes shook up old ladies get cut.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Henry Haight, where we discuss art, creation of art, theories of art, art practices, tips, tricks, mad ramblings, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. My pronouns are...
And who's old white salad which?
And...
You little whore!
Anywho, today's video is going to be a tribute to my friend Vicky Tafoya. Vicky passed away. She passed away on the 24th of August, this last Sunday. I received notice, well, I got a text Sunday night, but I didn't actually look at it till that following Monday. And a little backstory. Vicky Tafoya was a singer who had a band called Vicky and the Big Beat. She also had a band called Vicky and The Vengeance. She was in a doo-wop group, the Redondos, that had Eddie Nichols from Royal Crown Review and my friend Vicky. I met Vicky in the 6th grade in 1980 during speech class. That was the beginning of our friendship when I was 12. Or I think I was 11. I was 11. In the 6th grade, we had to do a speech where we had to talk about someone in our class. And I was interviewing Vicky because she sat behind me, and we just partnered up. And she asked me what kind of music I liked. And mind you, it was the 80s and stuff. And I said that I like Disco and Donna Summer, and I like Van Halen and these other Journey. Somehow she didn't leave AC/DC, Van Halen into the speech. It was Disco and Donna Summer. And by then, to a bunch of 6th graders in speech class, when you say this kid likes Disco and Donna Summer, the disco, there's a theme.
The bitch playing.
Bitch basically outed me, you know. But a friendship was cemented that day. Just her smile, her squeal when she got excited about certain stuff, but when she sang, it was just incredible. Oddly, we became really close in high school, and we were in our first rock group together, Pink Bad Boy, and a lot of the times she would try to get me to sing doo-wop. Now, I was a fan of new wave and punk music, you know, because I was getting away from stoner, you know, rock, Journey and AC/DC and Van Halen, and getting into these really Posh Boy Slash album. Germs for X is my favorite band. I have them tattooed on my neck. And Vicky was a massive Beatles fan and doo-wop. She was very much into the 50s music, and it became even more apparent when we were in high school. And we took choir together, and we were always singing. Essentially, when I got news of her passing, all these memories came up of her sitting in my bedroom listening to records, or me sitting in her room in Delhi, because my father grew up knowing her brother, and we are, I think, second cousins, once removed from my dad's side of the family, because he too lived in Delhi and from a barrio, and the Chicano movement and the Cholos But Vicky was, how can I explain it? Long before Pretty in Pink, our high school years were kind of like Pretty in Pink meets Romeo and Michelle. You know, she would have me try to sing harmonies with her and stuff, and I would, and she would always take charge of that. And I wanted to sing, like, you know, rock and roll or blues and a certain kind of, you know, MC5 stuff and like punk and just shouting. And she, every evening when the sun goes down, woo, woo, I lay my head on the pillow down. Woo, woo. Every evening when the sun goes down, I lay my head on the pillow down. I go, woo, woo, woo. I'm a little rusty. I just remember singing that with her a lot. And the Carpenters, she wanted to sing harmony to Close to You. And we sang that for a talent show. And one of my fondest memories is our walks after school, going to her house or my house to listen to records. And we would quote movies that we loved, from American Graffiti, The Wanderers.
Don't fuck with the Wongs.
The Warriors. Any juvenile delinquent film, we were all up in that shit.
Don't pull a flip out, mama. Yeah, sometimes shook up old ladies get cut.
We talked about our dreams. She wanted to be a singer, and I thought either music or art. And that was, you know, because those were our passions. She could doodle and stuff, and I remember in the 6th grade, she made a comment because I was always doodling on my Peachy folders. And as kids, I don't know if they do that now because they all have smartphones. They collect everything on a fucking phone, but it sounds so archaic and so, you know, prehistoric that, yeah, I would draw these things that you used to get for 29 cents at the supermarket and put your homework in. But then there was a punk band called the Peachies. So, anywho, but yeah, me and Vicky spent a lot of good times together. We went to parties in high school, and it was, like I said, you know, a cross between Pretty in Pink and Romeo and Michelle, and we became really tight in high school. She asked me to join a Star Search talent contest again to sing, and she was going to do the female singing contest, and she asked me, like, coaxed me, sing, goddammit, sing. And I said, okay. The choir director didn't like me very much because I was very snotty. I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself, so I overcompensated by just being a fucking total ass. And she coaxed him into accompanying me for a song, and I sang Culture Club's Victims against a guy named Greg Hernandez. I believe Vicky sang Etta James' Stop the Wedding.
Wait, stop the wedding. You're just marrying her for spite. If she knew the inside story, she'd tell you what you're doing just ain't right.
And she won, and I won. You know, we were going against people who were singing Broadway songs, and you know, I'm not really a huge Broadway person. Vicky was fortunate enough to travel with her band, and she would often come to Spain and England. But when she would come, she would arrive the day before, like any working musician. When they're on tour, they arrive the day before, play, and then the following day on to wherever. And she never really got to see London. So I said, okay, next year. She came to London in 2017. And I said, okay, next year, if you come. It was for the Rhythm Riot. She was one of the headliners. I said, I will put you up in a hotel with you and your husband and have the booking agent arrange your ticket 5 days later. I showed her my London, and I just got to meet her husband again and her guitar player, Matt Beld, who'd played with Social Distortion and a few others, and a really lovely guy. And I thought how fortunate it is for this woman to virtually find the great love of her life and 2 musical soulmates. And I'm able to share these moments with her from when we were kids, talking about how we wanted to get out of the fucking Santa Ana and achieve our dreams. And we did. I remember there was a record store called Sounds That Swing, and they did a lot of 50s rockabilly garage music in Camden, not far from Camden Stables. And the owner knew who Vicky was. And I was like, wow. Amy. Vicky was a lot like Amy because, the big voice, brash, body broad. I remember taking her to Camden Stables and her standing in front of Amy, the Amy statue. And, I would always play her music in the shop. And I remember once playing her Big Beat album, the first Vicky Tafoya and the Beat album to Amy once. I believe I was actually tattooing Alex Clare at the time. And, they never met, but for some reason I always think that, these type of people gravitated or came into my life through serendipity. Think of Vicky if Bette Midler, Joan Jett, and John Waters made a love child, sprinkled a whole hell of a lot of Ronnie Spector, and that was Vicky. She wasn't Jewish, but
a fucking mouse on that broad.
But Vicky always made me laugh, and I took her to the Dublin Castle where Amy sang Madness and a lot of, seminal 80s bands that we listened to. And one of my favorite memories is, I think it was 1982 or 83. I asked her to dress as Cyndi Lauper, and I was into Cyndi Lauper and Josie Cotton. And at the time I was listening to Josie Cotton's Convertible Music and She's So Unusual. And as you know, Josie Cotton's most famous song is Johnny, Are You Queer?
Johnny, what's the deal, boy? Is your love for real, boy? When the lights are low, you never hold me close. And I saw you today, boy, walking with them gay boys. God, it hurt me so. Now I gotta know, Johnny, are you queer? 'Cause when I see you dancing with your friends, I can't help wondering where I stand. Oh, Johnny, you're forsaken. The love you could be taken. I wanna give it to you, but you never come through. Oh, why are you so weird, boy? Johnny, are you queer, boy? When you asked for a date, I thought that you was straight. But Johnny, are you queer? Hey, Johnny, are you queer, boy? Johnny, are you queer, boy? Hey, Johnny, are you queer? Johnny, are you queer? Johnny, are you queer?
Vicky dressed like Cyndi Lauper and was waiting for me in the hallway before Spanish class, and she had Josie Cotton's second album, From the Hip, behind her. And when I saw it, the gay teenager that I was, she did Aquanet Proud that day, and Vicky passed away from cancer, and it was rather sudden. I had seen her in May just before Viva Las Vegas. She would always play Viva Las Vegas and with her band, and she'd be like, yeah. And we spent all day at Penrose Record Room, ironically, which is Gabe Roth's Penrose record shop, along with Matt Bell, their business partners. And Vicky was on the Daptone Penrose label, and Gabe played for Amy. Talk about full circle. And when I got the news, I remembered our last day together. It was perfect because it reminded me of when we were teenagers. I watched her play records. We shot the shit. We laughed. We quoted movies. And we talked about our lives now. You know, her husband had passed away 4 years earlier, and I was in London, and I was sad that I couldn't be there to console or just show support, but I sent emails and I gave her a call, and she was like, I'm fine. Because I was going through something similar where I lost my marriage. I know how devastating the end of something that you pour your heart and soul into is. My last day with Vicky, we discussed her dreams of what she wanted to do, and I said, I'm really glad that Matt is around to be there with you, and that you're so lucky to have, you know, that dude in your corner, you know, because I'm here. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So I'd like to think of myself somewhat as a nomadic gypsy. I'm thankful for that day that I got to spend with Vicky at Penrose with Matt, and just see how happy she was. I'm glad for the memories she gave me. I'm glad for her friendship and all the memories. And you know, I just think we were just kids. I get to watch her sing her. I have immense love for and pride for what she achieved. And my time with her in London was just so precious. And that, you know, it's telling when friends invite you or introduce you to their friends, because it's something that says you're a good person, and I want you to share these things and these moments. There will never be anyone like Vicky. And I wanted to make this video to honor her talent, my friend, and another friend that I've lost. And I can't believe that life can be so cruel. So, you know, and Vicky sang her heart out. And when she opened her mouth, everyone listened. And I, you know, juxtaposed to, I remember when we were teenagers and kids, and people were actually starting to understand her talent, she would be so shy that she'd get tight-lipped and she'd be like a deer in the headlights. And here I'm seeing this woman command a room of 700 people. Amazing. So, Vicky, I will love you forever. I will remember you forever. I will honor your music, your talents, and your gifts. Most of all, thank you for your friendship. This is a goodbye. But you're with Vinny now, and sleep well. A little better now. I've stopped the waterworks. But I would ask that if you can, check out Vicky Tafoya and the Big Beat, Vicky The Vengeance on Spotify, on YouTube. If you can, go to Penrose Records and buy one of Vicky Tafoya's songs. her 45s. I know she recently recorded an album that will be posthumously released. Virtually, just listen to her music, listen to my friend's talent, and appreciate my love for her, and my love for you guys. Thank you for watching. Keep creating. Peace.
Have you ever wondered what could have been? I think about it, baby, every now and again. Saw you the other day, then you turned away. That's the moment that I realized I think about the time that my thoughts